The notification lit up my phone at 2:47 a.m. Blue light cut through the dark like a scalpel. My name's Dolores Green, 32, ICU nurse, chronic overgiver. I was lying in bed, too tired to dream. 12 hours of alarms, antiseptic air, and good intentions behind me. Then a new message popped up. Family reality check. Someone had added me by mistake. Curiosity won before common sense could stop me. The first line made my stomach twist. Thank God she's covering the turkey again this year. Then came the emojis. Laughing, crying, money with wings. Rebecca, Marcus, Vanessa, my family. Their laughter burned more than any 12-hour shift. Holiday parasite. Family ATM. I felt my pulse turn to ice. If I'm their parasite, I'll stop feeding the host. I scrolled up with shaking hands, the chat still glowing. 3 years of messages. 3 years of jokes at my expense. Screenshots of my Venmo payments filled with laughing emojis. Comments about my nurse salary and desperation to be included. My mother had even sent a gif of burning money. Caption: Dolores's Christmas spirit. I used to think she was proud of me. Turns out, she was just proud of my direct deposits. My sister Emily, the one I put through college, joined the laughter. Dell's working another holiday shift this year. More money for us. A Gucci bag emoji followed. They turned my kindness into punchlines. I remembered the $3,000 for Mom's medical bills. Her cruise photos told a different story. Champagne and sunsets. Marcus's shut-off electricity became a $2,000 gaming setup. Rebecca's empty pantry had a new designer purse every month. I skipped vacations, they skipped receipts. Every emergency was theater, and I was the funding department. The guilt worked like clockwork. They'd mention Grandma's medication, Dad's truck repairs, or a sick kid. I'd feel the old ache, the need to be useful, to prove I belonged, while they toasted with the money I'd bled to earn. I thought helping meant love. I thought giving made me good. But every dollar built a cage I called family, and every apology I rehearsed kept me locked inside it. My birthday photo still haunted me, a cupcake and a candle. They called it pathetic. 15 laughing reacts. That night I'd worked a double shift to send Marcus money. He never lost power. He just powered up his new toy. They didn't just want my money, they wanted me empty. The screen dimmed as dawn bled through my blinds. My eyes burned, but I couldn't stop scrolling. Receipts, transfers, promises never kept. 5 years of proof that I'd funded their joy. A total stared back at me, $73,249. My chest tightened like someone had stapled my ribs shut. I opened my laptop. If they could run a family business off my back, then I could shut the company down. First came the numbers. Phone bills, streaming accounts, insurance, subscription boxes. I'd kept every record because nurses document everything. Now those habits were survival. 6 phone lines under my name. Marcus's endless data, Emily's international calls, Mom's TikTok addiction. I hit disconnect and scheduled it for 48 hours later. The thought made me smile for the first time in months. Next came streaming. Netflix, Hulu, Disney+, 7 platforms. None I ever watched. I deleted every profile but mine, changed every password. Devices started logging out in real time. Somewhere, Rebecca's Housewives marathon just froze mid-episode. Justice looked like a loading screen. Then Costco. I checked the purchase history. Wine, furniture, and party platters. They'd used my membership to throw parties I wasn't invited to. Cancelled. Refund processed. $93 back. It wasn't much, but it was symbolic. I kept going. Mom's subscription boxes, cancelled. Emily's luxury gym, cancelled. Marcus's car insurance, gone. Every click felt like reclaiming oxygen. But somewhere between those clicks, guilt tried to whisper. What if they need you? What if something's real this time? I silenced it with one sentence. Then they'll learn self-reliance. No one teaches boundaries better than absence. By 7 a.m., I'd cut 43 recurring payments. My monthly expenses dropped by $1,847. That's $22,000 a year. Money I'd been bleeding out for people who called me pathetic. I sat back and listened. No buzzing phone, no desperate texts, no new emergency. Just the low hum of my fridge and my own heartbeat. It was terrifying and peaceful all at once, like hearing quiet for the first time. I drafted my resignation from family duty, then I emailed the hospital in Portland. The job I'd turned down last year was still open. I hit send before fear could talk me out of it. Outside, the sun rose like a warning flare. Inside, I felt something new. Power without apology. It felt like closing a door that had stayed open too long. And behind that door, Silence finally sounded like freedom. I wasn't their safety net anymore. I was my own parachute. By sunrise, the siphon stopped, and I could finally hear myself breathe. The next night, I stopped shaking. The anger had cooled into something sharper, precision. I gathered every screenshot, every receipt, every lie they'd ever told. 37 pages of proof, each one labeled, dated, undeniable. Then I opened the group chat. Family reality check. My fingers hovered over the keyboard. This wasn't rage anymore. This was documentation. Hi everyone. I see I was accidentally added to this chat. Since I'm the parasite, I've decided to stop feeding the hosts. Attached. Every dollar I've paid this family for 5 years. Total. $73,240. Consider it my final Christmas gift. I attached the file and pressed send. For a second, nothing happened. Then the screen lit up like a storm. Typing bubbles, calls, missed FaceTimes. Even a video request from Mom declined. Her name flashing felt like an alarm. I turned off notifications and watched the world go silent. Every vibration that followed felt weaker than the last. Until finally, there was nothing left to answer. I blocked every number. Then deleted the chat entirely. No trace, no apology, no way back. The line was drawn, sharp and clean. Within minutes, my phone went dark. No calls, no texts, no demands. Just peace, brutal, absolute, overdue. I deleted my social media next. Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. Gone. No more curated photos built on my money. No more fake smiles captioned, grateful. The next day, I turned my phone back on. Dozens of unknown numbers flooded the screen. I powered it off again. Let them scream into the void. Work became my refuge. 12-hour shifts felt lighter than family dinners ever had. Patients didn't lie about emergencies. They just needed care. And I could finally give it freely. Then it happened. 3 weeks later, in the ICU, I heard my old name. Dolores Morrison? No one at work knew that name. I turned and my stomach dropped. Emily stood in the doorway, eyes red, clutching her phone. You can't be here, I said quietly. This is a restricted area. Del, please, I just need 5 minutes. I didn't flinch. Security. Her face crumpled as the guard appeared. Dolores, I'm your sister. I met her eyes and felt nothing. I don't have a sister, I said calmly. Please escort her out. The doors shut and the echo stayed. For years, I'd been chaos inside a calm shell. Now, for once, I was calm inside their chaos. The silence wasn't empty. It was earned. Linda, my supervisor, asked if I was okay. I smiled. Small, real, dangerous. Better than ever, I said. Some lessons carve you hollow before they make you whole. And sometimes, peace sounds like footsteps leaving. They taught me silence. I taught them consequences. Thanksgiving came faster than I expected. Jennifer, my coworker, invited me to her house. I almost said no, old habits die loyal. But loneliness is just guilt in disguise. So I said yes. Her home was loud, messy, and warm. The turkey was dry, the kids were screaming, and nobody was pretending life was perfect. It felt like breathing after years underwater. When her mother asked about my family, I said the truth. We don't talk anymore. Carol nodded. Good for you, honey. Family should make you feel loved, not used. The word used hit harder than I expected. It landed like permission. Jennifer poured me wine and listened to everything. The chat, the money, the humiliation. When I finished, she said, That's abuse, Dolores. They weaponized your kindness. That's not love. Her words cracked something open inside me. Relief, not pain. For years, I'd mistaken usefulness for worth. Now I understood. My value existed even without sacrifice. That night, I applied for the Portland job again. Head nurse position. Better pay. Real growth. The offer arrived 2 weeks later. $40,000 more a year. I said yes without hesitation. When the paperwork came, I made another decision. I wasn't going to be Dolores Morrison anymore. That name belonged to their control. So I took my grandmother's maiden name, Dolores Green. New license, new signature, new start. Moving day came with boxes and quiet resolve. My apartment in Portland had sunlight, plants, and peace. I bought furniture with my own money. Finally for me. No secondhand guilt attached. I adopted a gray tabby and named her Phoenix, because I was done rising for everyone else. Months later, Mom showed up at the hospital lobby, said she wanted to talk. Security escorted her out before I had to answer. I didn't look back. Then came Dad's email. He said he'd read the chat after I exposed it, that he'd filed for divorce, started therapy, and finally saw what silence had cost me. He didn't ask for forgiveness. He earned respect instead. For the first time, I felt something close to peace. Not the fragile kind I used to buy, but the quiet that follows survival. Emily started sending repayments, small but real. Each message came without excuses, only sincerity. I didn't reply, not yet. Forgiveness isn't a switch. It's a door you open slowly. And this time I held the key. Justice wasn't a fight. It was a door I locked myself. Christmas came again. The first one I didn't dread. Jennifer invited me, and this time I didn't hesitate. Her house smelled like cinnamon and chaos. Kids running, dog barking, music too loud. It was perfect. No one asked me for money. No one measured my worth in receipts. They just passed me mashed potatoes and laughter. For once, I wasn't useful. I was loved. After dinner, I checked my email. One new message from Emily. Merry Christmas. Still paying you back. Still trying. I replied, keep being better. That's enough. Her answer came fast. You responded. Best gift ever. Love you, sis. I stared at those words for a long time. Maybe I wasn't ready to say it back, yet. But someday maybe. Dad emailed too. He said he'd joined a volunteer group for veterans, trying to be useful to people who actually need help. I smiled and closed my laptop. Some bridges burn, some rebuild slowly. You just have to know which deserve your time. Michael, my boyfriend, poured me wine. Asked what I wanted for the new year. More of this, I said. Peace. People who love me for me. He smiled. That's not too much to ask. Midnight arrived with laughter instead of noise. I used to pay for everyone's happiness. Now I invest in my own. Morning light spilled across the kitchen counter. No buzzing phone, no guilt, no weight. Just sunlight, coffee, and a quiet heart that finally rested. If you've ever been used by the people you love, remember, you're not broken for walking away. You're brave for choosing yourself. I once paid for their holidays. Now I fund my peace.